Muslims or Muslimah, did you know that your Prophet Muhammad was a white man? No? Let's get into it, shall we? So, in this hadith number 63, I believe it's 63, I might be wrong, but I will give you the source if you want it, because I have it. This is narrated by Anas bin Malik, or should I say Anas bin Malik. And this hadith says this: while we were sitting with the Prophet Mo in the mosque, a man came riding on a camel. He made his camel kneel down in the mosque, tied its foreleg, and said, "Who amongst you is Muhammad?" At that time, the Prophet was sitting amongst us, his companions. Leaning on his arm, we replied, "This white man reclining on his arm." The man then addressed him. So in Sahih Muslim 23:43 it says this: I saw Allah's messenger, that he had white complexion and had some white hair, and Hassan bin Ali resembled him. Let's go to the next one. Sahih Muslim 23:40. I said to Abu Tifal, whatever that said, "Did you see Allah's messenger Mo?" He said yes. He had a white handsome face. Oh mate. Okay. Sahih Muslim 503 says this: the messenger of Allah stepped out with a red mantle on him, and I was catching a glimpse of the whiteness of his shanks. The whiteness of his shanks, meaning the whiteness of his legs. Sahih al-Bukhari 371, Anas said, when Allah's messenger invaded the Kaaba, or the Kaaba, we offered the Fajr prayer, or something like that, F-A-J-R, the Fajr prayer. There, when it was still dark, the Prophet Mo rode, and Abu Tahal, whatever that says, rode too, and I was riding behind Abu Tahal. The Prophet passed through the lane of the Kaaba quickly, and my knee was touching the thigh of the Prophet Mo. He uncovered his thigh, and I saw the whiteness of the thigh of the Prophet. Mental. Sahih al-Bukhari 3566. The people rushed to take some of the water. Bilal, whatever that says, again went in and brought out a spear-headed stick, and the Allah's messenger Mo came out, as if I were now looking at the whiteness of his leg. The chapter 44 of this book says the dirt had covered the whiteness of Muhammad's stomach. Or this one: it is as if I can see the whiteness of the forearms of the messenger of Allah. Or this chapter: raising the hands of supplication, where it said this: messenger of Allah raising his hands in supplication so much that the whiteness of his armpits could be seen. Or in this chapter 183-184 of the regarding the salam, whatever that means, the Prophet would say the taslim on his right side and then on his left side, so much so that the whiteness of his cheeks could be seen. So going back to the first thing that I've read, it says that his companions pointed out a white man reclining on his arm to be Prophet Muhammad. The next one says about he had white complexion and has white hair, or some white hair. It says in this one that he had a white handsome face. It says also that people could see a glimpse of the whiteness of his shanks, legs. It also goes on to say that Someone was touching the knee or using his knee to touch the thigh of Muhammad, and they could see the whiteness of Muhammad's thighs. It goes on to also say that Allah's messenger Mo came out as if I were now looking at the whiteness of his legs. The other chapters that I'm talking about says about the dirt had covered the whiteness of his stomach, or how the whiteness of the messenger of Allah's forearms, raising his hands in supplication where people could see the whiteness of his armpits, or when he would say the taslim, whatever that is, a prayer, so much so that people could see the whiteness in his cheeks. Prophet Muhammad was a white man, and you can almost guarantee that even more so by looking at his grandson, his 34th grandson, called Muhammad al-Yaqub or something like that. I can't pronounce these silly names, but he's a white Arab with ginger beard. And these hadiths and things like that are telling you Muhammad had a white, handsome face. He had white complexion, white legs, white thighs, white armpits, white cheeks, a white stomach. Prophet Muhammad was a white man. Mental! Peace and love and all that towards you guys. I love you. If you disagree, let me know. This isn't just something I've plucked out the air. Everything you've seen is in the video itself, so this is interesting. Very, very interesting.